Welcome to the incredible Redmill Carp France. If you've been a follower of ours or a subscriber now for a good few years, then you'll notice that we absolutely love this place. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched the part 1 video. Obviously, if you do like this content, like I say in every video, it'd be a massive help for the channel if you could like, subscribe, and obviously comment any feedback for part 1 as well. Because we've got the lake exclusive again, myself and my dad, for the first night what we've done is my dad set up in Longchuck and I set up in Sluice. Now there is a sort of fear that the fish might move on down to the bottom end of the lake. We know that the sort of far bank is where the fish patrol and everything, so yeah, I'm pretty confident of catching a fish there. However, what I would say is we did have a walk round yesterday afternoon and basically we did see 2 fish lump out in frogs. To be honest, you know, it could be my downfall that you know, because I've kind of come here with the preconceived idea of fishing the 2 swims that I know well, it could actually be a bit of a problem. So yeah, what I might do tomorrow, to be fair, if I don't catch anything tonight, or my dad certainly doesn't get anything as well, because that means we've kind of got, I think between us, 4 rods on the far margin where we know the fish patrol. We've netted the lake, I've seen the lake with its pants down for a better expression. We know that the fish patrol there, but like I said, we fished it last night and today and we've both had absolutely nothing. So like I said, if there's nothing happening tomorrow and I keep hearing fish down at the bottom end, because I was leading my bivvy last night and the fish were just boshing down the bottom end, so what I might do, to be fair, tomorrow is have a move up to frogs. So like I said, what I'll do is I'll get some tea down me for tonight, get the rods out, and I will hopefully see you tonight. If not, I will see you in the morning and I will let you know what I'm doing. Good morning, it's Monday morning. My dad's finally off the mark. I'm still blanking, so I think a move might be on the cards, to be honest, because it just doesn't seem like the fish are up this end of the lake, to be honest. But yeah, my dad's managed the first one, he's off the mark now. It's a lovely common, so what we're going to do is get it weighed and we'll go and take a look. Looking very serious.
There's lots of fizz in it middle again this morning.
She has it. Oh, that's so close. 39.3. Are you sure you're that confident already? Yeah, we're rolling.
Well, how's about that for a beautiful common carp? We sacrificed one last night, pulled it in where we weren't feeling too confident from under the tree, and we popped it on the corner of the island over there, and lo and behold, the first fish of the session, and I'm absolutely blown away. What a stunning fish. I believe I may have caught this one before, but that doesn't take away anything from this, because it's an absolute pearler. Here's on to lots more. Oh, come on. That was my best Danny Fairbrass impression. Come on! Oh, right. First shower I've had this week as well.
Good morning guys, right, so we're on Monday morning now. Obviously we arrived on Saturday, as you do sort of most French weeks. And as you can probably see behind me, I can't tell, but I'm moving swims. I've moved to the incredible frog swim down at the bottom end of the lake. The reason for that is basically, when we first arrived there was one fish that jumped down at the bottom, but obviously because we've got it as a lake exclusive and it's just me and my dad, is that, you know, Longchuck and Sluice are the sort of the hot swims really. and I honestly thought that between the two of us what we could probably do is fish the margin on the far bank, hence the name Long Chuck, because the fish patroller, it's the deepest part of the lake, and quite frankly it's just been a banker for years and years and years. However, what I would say now is that I think because we know the venue, it can sometimes be downfall, and I think that that's what's happened, because we've probably put between us 4 rods on that far margin, and obviously we've been there for 2 nights and a day. Obviously one was the first night when we arrived, and basically nothing's happened, and that just tells me that the fish aren't there. And obviously I saw one crash down at Frogs, you know, on the first day I arrived. So I think, you know, you don't really want to come to these venues, even though I've known this venue for a long time and I know where the fish are and the patrol routes. It's just that that can also be my downfall, or everyone's downfall, because you kind of anticipate where the fish are going to be, and like everyone tells you, and I'm going to say it as well, is that the fish are telling me this is where they are. So what we're going to have to do is fish where they are. So yeah, what I've done is I've moved swims. I'm going to get some bait in sort of while I get the rod set up, because obviously that's more important, just to get the confidence up with no lines in the water, and hopefully I will give you a bit more of a substantial update in a couple of hours. And this is the willow that I'm looking at here. Look at this. Where did it come from?
It's Monday afternoon. As you can see, it's a baking hot day in France, and I'm just about to give up on this one for the afternoon and go and grab some tea. And I brought one rod out, and then this one absolutely ripped off. Oh. And as you can see, it gave me a right battle. How he's got that much energy left after that, I have no idea, because I'm pretty spent. But stunning, stunning mirror, and an absolute joy. Look at that. Thank you. There you go.
Good evening. So as promised yesterday, if nothing was going to happen last night or through the night for myself and my dad on them long rods, then basically I was going to up sticks and move swims. And that's exactly what I've done. So now you join me sort of on Monday evening. This is my first evening now in the new swim. So I'm in a swim known as Frogs. Basically what happens in my experience and sort of all the experience that I've got at Redmill is the fish basically move off the pressure. Obviously it's a day ticket venue in France, a holiday venue, and what happens is as everyone fishes long chuck, sluice, double, gate, that type of swim, the fish kind of migrate to this end of the lake where it's least sort of busy, and that's exactly what I've done. And as soon as I arrived here, before I'd even got the kit ready, there's a set of lily pads to my left hand side, which to be fair I've never actually seen before, so they're new. And basically Darren even said that, you know, the fish do actually like to get in there. And as soon as I got here, sort of a couple of hours ago now, 2 fish straight away, bosh, and then another one, and then another one. So there's actually 3 fish, but I think one was the same one. But yeah, basically there was 3 shores, big crashes and boshes. So what I've done for tonight, just quickly, is obviously you can't ignore showing fish when you're down this end of the lake. I've never actually fished this swim before. I must have been to Redmill, don't know, sort of 8 or 9 times now. And yeah, I've never actually fished this swim. So basically, like you should do really with you know, I've learnt my lesson in the previous 48 hours, is that let the fish tell you where they are, and that's exactly what I've done. So basically the fish that have shown to my pads to my left, I've actually tonight obviously put a solid bag, because obviously I'm fishing to pads and I don't know which new stems and old stems and everything. So what I've done is with those is I've used the spoon, the baiting spoon, and I've pushed it right into the sort of pads, and I've obviously made sure that I'm touching right up against it as well. So yeah, that's my left hand rod. I'll go into much more detail tomorrow in terms of where I'm fishing, the rigs, the components, everything like that, everything riggy, because basically what I've done today is obviously I've moved swims, and then I had about 2 hours before tea. So what I decided to do was actually have a shower, because I was meant to have one tomorrow, or that was my sort of plan anyway, was to have one tomorrow. But I've had one today. I've changed all my diabetes kits and everything over, so I'm sort of ready and good to go for another week. So yeah, basically I'm feeling fresh. I've cleared my head a little bit, because like you said, you know, I've been fishing obviously last week at East Delph, and then again straight back into this one. So I've struggled a little bit in terms of just finding my feet with the filming and where I'm up to and updates and everything like that. So yeah, that's kind of why I did the first 24 hours, 36 hours, whatever it were, where I probably didn't actually film anything. Yeah, what I've done is I've put one rod to the pads, which is my left hand side. I've put my middle rod with good information off Matty, who isn't here this week. So I've put a good information that there's a willow tree to sort of on the far bank, if you like. It's one of the smallest willows, but it's quite prominent in the swim. And I did actually see later on this afternoon as well, is one did sort of not head and shoulders, but I was literally just looking anyway, just for any signs, and one did actually pop out. So yeah, I'm quite confident in that one. And then to my right hand side, there was a swim known as All Alone. It was a swim that it was quite prevalent a couple of years ago, but I think because it's sort of not, I wouldn't say it's that popular anymore. So basically it's sort of quite overgrown now, and there's a huge lovely willow tree to the right hand side of that swim. So because of that, again, there were the fish, there was in front of that willow tree, there was a few fish that boshed on the first walk round that we did on the Saturday afternoon. And things like that you just can't ignore, and I did, and you know, I'm kind of feeling the repercussions of that now, really, where the fish are telling me where they are and I've ignored them. So yeah, what I've done is I've stuck a rod on that willow. I've probably put a handful of baits out, nothing massive, and hopefully they'll go tonight. But like I said, what I'll do tomorrow morning or tomorrow day, whatever, at some point tomorrow, I will sit down properly. I will go through the rigs that I'm using for this session. If you've watched part one of the video as well, you'll know that a lot of the terminal tackle, well, all of the terminal tackle pretty much that we're using at the moment is prototypes from Signet Tackle, which are due to be released next year. So to prevent waffling on, I'll probably keep this update, you know, pretty much there or end it there. I'd like to see you with you in the night with the fish. If not, I will talk to you in the morning, sort of explain everything in a bit more detail, all the rig things, everything like that. And like I said, hopefully we'll get a fish to show you. But like I said, if not, we will see you then. I'm not exaggerating when I say I've only been sat down for 10 minutes after that last update. And what's the saying? 2 days in the wrong spot, 5 days in the right spot. I don't think it's the biggest fish in the pond. But I'll tell you what, right now, I'm really not bothered. Beautiful fish. I think she'll go about mid-20 to be fair, but I'm really not bothered. Mega. Yep. You filming?
Yep.
Yeah. My first fish of the trip. If there's ever a saying more suitable than 2 days in the wrong spot, 5 minutes in the right spot, then this is it. What a fish to get me off the mark. And I'm really kicking myself because 2 days ago when we arrived on Saturday afternoon, there was fish crashing in front of the willow as well. And what I decided to do was go with what I thought was the right thing to do, and that was to fish long chuck and sluice. And the fish were telling me that that's where they were down this end of the lake. So I've made the move this morning and I've put a rod straight onto the willow where they were telling me on the Saturday, and this is the result. 20 minutes in the water tops, and what a fish. So what I'll do is I'll get some stills and then we'll get her back and hopefully get the rod out before dark. do. Yes, keep coming. Yes.
Just bring him out.
Try it. Try it. It's bigger than the last one, I think. Right, go on. Hang on. Oh, nice one. Yep, go on, scoop, scoop. Bosh. Yes, teamwork.
Come on.
Yes.
That's a good fish.
That's massive.
That's a good fish. He's wide. He needs a boat. Right, you get on that side. You're going to bend your new course.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, gently. Holy shit.
Go on, let go. You let go. Not even close.
You joking?
Nope. 41.7 that. £41.7 that.
Calm down.
Wow. Right, if I...
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm trying. He's so flipping angry. That's proof that I caught it anyway. No, you don't.
Don't let him go.
I'm trying not to, trust me. Oh. You ready? Try again?
Yeah, go on.
I'll try, can't promise.
You know, to say they're in dark.
I know, it's... Oh, shit, man. I've not said a piece of the camera, but I was doing it morning. Say I caught one last night and use the footage.
I mean, you're recording it. That where it's supposed to be.
I mean, look at the width of that.
How is that not 50 pounds?
Honestly, the size of the head. Honestly, I don't know if you can see it, right?
I can.
Look at that. Take that as a picture. Oh, try again, flash didn't work. Try again. I'm just going to talk to camera if I can. I'm wet anyway, so do it. You ready? Oh. Look at that for a fish. 41 pounds and whatever, 7-8 ounces, but a first night in frogs and I've had two within an hour, and she has to be an original. She's so beautiful. Really old gnarly scars, big head. Reminds me a bit like Matty, to be honest. Let's see if I can hoist her up. But I'm telling you now, I've gone weak in my old age. Ugh, look at that. Ugh. My back's done. My back's done. I can't do it. Right, I'll let her go. It's been too long. My back's done, I'm wet. Oh. Well, truly, thank you. Come on, that's it, that's it. Go on. Ah, yes. That's made it worthwhile. No way. It's Arthur. It's fucking Arthur. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Get in that net. Go on, son.
All the time, you'll never hear what anybody else has to say.
Yes, I've got him.
Therefore, all you'll have to talk about is your own conversation.
I reckon 24.
Right, let's have a...
Ooh. Talking to yourself. Sub-vocal conversation. The constant talk of words.
I think 21.10.
Now, if you do that all the time,
Looking at that.
that you've nothing to think
Yeah,
about
21.10. Just before we get this fish out, I'm certainly not going to claim that she's the biggest in the pond, but I have to say this is probably a fish that would probably bring just as much joy to me as it does anybody. The pure carpists out there are probably not really like this fish, but to me, I'm a big fish lover and I absolutely love this species of fish. So yeah, basically I won't waffle on, but just to sort of build the tension a little bit. She's not an original, but we were knocking around when we actually, not me personally, but when Darren stocked her. You've seen her on the videos before, or him, and he goes by the name of Arthur. So if you've seen the videos before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So without further ado, I will show you my prize. Look at that. Like I said, the pure carpish probably don't like koi, but personally I'm a huge fish lover and I absolutely adore koi. Granted, I probably want to fish a lake full of them, but Redmill has one koi, and of all the fish to catch, it's amazing. Obviously I'd like the Camper Common, but that's just being greedy. But to be able to say that I've now caught Arthur, what a moment. He's finally tipped the scales as well at just over £20. So he's now part of the £20 club. How about that? Absolutely mega. And he's fallen to a combi snowman rig, which I'll show you shortly. And he's fallen to the willow tree that I've been telling you about in front of the All Alone swim. So yeah, what I will do is get some stills. I will pop him back and I'll show you all the rigs that I've been using to catch this on. Mega. Mwah. Thank you, mate. What a fish. Oh, all right, buddy. Thank you for coming. Mwah. I might see you again one day. I might not. Well, I'm glad our paths finally crossed anyway. There you go. Thank you, mate. What a fish. Arthur. Okay, so as promised, obviously after putting Arthur back now, I've reeled in probably about an hour and a half earlier. We're due to sort of have tea at the cabin, hence why I'm sat outside. So we just sort of have sort of tea in about an hour, hour and a half. So yeah, just thought obviously I'll bring everything here, bait wise, rig wise, everything like that. And we'll just have a bit of basic chat about it. Obviously bait's a contentious subject at the moment with the UK leaving the EU. There's a lot of sort of unanswered questions and everything, so I just want to sort of talk a little bit about our experience, obviously what's happened in terms of bait, and then obviously we'll talk about rigs. So we'll talk about rigs first, because obviously that's the sort of thing that people are more important with, and that's sort of got more longevity, I guess, than bait. So starting off with the rigs, I just want to say, obviously if you've seen part one, you know, I appreciate we might be sort of touching on old ground here, but obviously if you haven't and you've just sort of watched this because you're coming to Redmill or anything alike, a lot of the terminal, well, all of the terminal that we're actually using on this particular session is from Signet Tackle. So basically Signet are releasing, or soon to release, a whole range of terminal products. So it's Signet Tackle that we all know and love. They're an exceptional brand. I've used a lot of the products for a while and still continue to use some of their products as well. So yeah, I think it's a really sort of big step that they're going in towards terminal tackle, if I'm honest. So obviously what they've kindly done as well is they've sent myself and they've sent Matty a big box of goodies just to try out. They haven't asked me to do this review, so what I would say, it's not really a review, but this is the rigs that I'm using, this is the truth. But obviously because I've been fishing last week and then again for this week, that's 2 weeks on the bank, so there is a good obvious opportunity to use a lot of these new products or potential new products, because as it stands at the moment they are all prototypes. So yeah, they have actually asked me to sort of have a look and see what I think and give them feedback, but they haven't asked me to include this in the film. But they're not sort of paying me, they've not asked me to say anything. This is 100% my own sort of personal opinions, and also the rigs that I'm using them on as well. So the first rig that obviously I'm going to go through is just basically, to me, it's as simple rigs that you can tie really. Obviously I'll start off at this end. basically we've got the new prototype Signet anti-tangle sleeve. Again, it's, you know, anti-tangle sleeves are anti-tangle sleeves, but there's a nice taper sort of towards the knot, so as you pull them over the knot, the taper just makes things a lot easier. Then we've got a sort of a stiff monofilament material, if you like. Again, first impressions really nice, as you can see there, it's really supple, and like I said, I think it's really good. So moving down to the middle section, obviously I've got the sort of prototype tungsten putty, if you like, and again, this is hand on heart, my honest opinion, is that I've used stuff from other brands as well, and so far this is the best putty that I've ever used. That is hands down my own opinion and the truth of it. I think this is an incredible sort of tungsten putty. And obviously down to the business end, so this is the prototype hook from Signet. It's the chod variant because it's so important with this particular rig. I don't really know what it's actually called, to be honest. It's just like a stiff link D rig, I guess, but it's because of the sort of the nature of the material and how it works, it's absolutely paramount to use an outturned eye hook, and this sort of wide gate pattern, it lends itself to that. Like I said, whether it's from Signet or whether it's from another brand, it has to be an outturned eye. And all I've done there is as simple as it gets, is I've basically done like an 8-turn whipping knot, basically just so it falls in line with the point of the hook really. And yeah, basically with that, if you know how to tie a chod rig, you'll know how to tie this rig. Literally do a huge big loop, put it back through, blow it with a lighter, and it's absolutely perfect. Obviously, finally, don't forget, obviously, before you put that that tag end back through the hook, that you put on a hook bead as well. Again, hook beads are hook beads, but for me, this one, it's really nice. It's got the PTFE coating at the bottom, and then it goes through to a sort of clear plastic as well, which is just a bit nicer and kinder to the bait as well. And for this particular session, what I found is that I'm using a Krill Active wafter in 15mm. Personally, wafter wise, I only really do 12, 14 at a push. But truthfully, the fish, you know, obviously in France anyway, the fish have got much bigger mouths, and I'm not as bothered about having a little bit of a bigger bait. So yeah, I've been using Krill Active wafters. Unfortunately, that's done 2 fish for me on this particular session. Again, it's quite a simple rig. It's as simple as you're probably ever going to be able to tie if you want to go down the route of tying your own. But this actually consists of 5 rigs, so it's actually going to be better for your bank account as well, because it's really easy to tie and it isn't going to cost the earth in actual products that it takes to obviously to construct it as well. So moving on to the other rig, the one that's gone long. The reason that, you know, I'm picking this one to go long is just because it's about 90 yards and it's quite a long way. I mean, it is for me anyway. Is that I want something that's got quite anti-tangle. The last thing I want to do is be hitting it that far, and obviously knowing that my rig's not sat right. So this is, again, is one of the most simplest rigs that sort of I've ever tied. Going back to the early days in Redmill, I've absolutely rinsed the place on this in years gone by, where I've had, you know, 13, 14 fish. I've seen the Lumpy on here who's come out at 57 on this rig. Something for some silly reason in my own fishing, as soon as I get home to England, for whatever reason, I don't tend to fish it, and I don't know why that is. It's not as favoured anymore since the sort of popularity of wafters, I guess, that you can get straight out of a packet. But yeah, basically, without further ado, this is the Muzzle Rig. And basically, again, like I said, everything here is constructed from Signet tackle and the prototype stuff that's coming out. So whether it's anti-tangle sleeves, the hooks, the material, anything, it's all Signet. And so far, touch wood, none of it's let me down. I have lost a fish, but like I said, I don't know what sort of really happened there. I got a take, struck into it, there was nothing there. The hook point still felt fine, so I'm not really sure. There are cats in here, so whether it was one trail on a line, I don't know. So this time, the only difference between the sort of last rig and this rig is that I've got this one on a longer anti-tangle sleeve. So it's identical to the first one, obviously it's just sort of twice as long, and that's the long one. To be honest, the reason I've put a long one on that, and again that takes me to the material nicely, is this is actually a soft coated braid. So rather than it being a sort of stiff, you know, monofilament line, this is more of a coated braid. So I just wanted that to give it a little bit more kick than what a sort of smaller one would do. Again, I always put a piece of putty on in the middle, you know, and like you can see that in my hands already, it just falls so nicely there. And again, it's really a supple material, so really impressed with this prototype material. And yet again, I'm using the wide gate. I'll just set the protector off. And again, I'm just using the prototype chod hook, sorry, not wide gate. Using the chod hook, because again, with the way this rig works, you need an outturned eye. So yet again, I'm using a size 4, and like I said, I'm so impressed with these hooks, I really am. I think they're incredible. And finally onto the bait, this is basically Match the Hatch boilie, which I'll run through in a second. And basically all I do there is cork out probably 2/3 of the bait, put a little bit of cork in it, and I always tend to put it that way so it sits up nicely. And it literally is as simple as it gets, with a standard knotless knot. and that is, you know, as easy, well, just as easy as the other one. There's two variants there that if you know you're fishing on a clean bottom, it's not choddy, it's silted, but it's still quite clean. So like I said, if you're fishing on that type of bottom, this rig is absolutely perfect because it's anti-tangle, and again, it only consists of 5 components, and it's like I said, it's going to be so much better for your bank account. It's easy to tie, and as you can see, it's caught me 3 fish. Well, it's caught me a fish. This one's caught me 1, the other one's caught me 2, and I've lost 1 as well on this one. So yeah, I've had 4 bites on these, and like I said, it's just, you know, it's caught me fish to over 40 pounds for this session. So you're not really going to get something as, you know, well, it just shows really how effective it can be. So as well, finally, once I've got the rig sorted, what I've been doing, obviously I've been getting the rods out there. I'm using everything in terms of my lead arrangements. I'm using the helicopter sleeves, the buffer beads, everything like that is coming from Signet as well. And then finally, what I'm also doing, because I'm fishing so far, is fishing, well, so far for me anyway, at 90 yards. It's quite a long way out, and like I said, it's silty, it's fairly uniform as well in front of me. And then all I'm doing finally is I'm adding a back lead. I've always used back leads in my fishing, even more so on venues where I can, obviously when it's safe to do so, because when I'm fighting a fish as well and it's under the tips, I always like just to have that little bit of confidence that my line's obviously sunk right from the tips down, and it gives me just that sort of peace of mind that I'm not going to wipe my other rods out when playing a fish. So yeah, so again, I'm using the prototype back leads from Signet. This one's in a 0.5 ounce, so it's the smallest one that they do, and I have to say, it's really, really impressive. There might be other ones on the market like it, but I've never seen them. So basically what you do is, obviously you put it on your line as normal, and then you push the top and it clicks in place, and basically it means that when you're fighting a fish, there's no way that that's kind of just going to pop off as you're fighting it or reeling in, which has happened in the past. So yeah, they're the sort of prototype little back leads from Signet as well, and that's what I'm using to sort of keep my line pinned down on this particular session. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run through the bait. We're going to have a quick chat around sort of, you know, the legalities and everything, or what we can and can't do now that the sort of the UK has left the EU. So sort of our experience, and obviously the bait that I'm using for this session as well. So bait wise, basically, as you know that the UK have now left the EU, and as it currently stands, there is no sort of food products or meat products or poultry or anything along those lines that's actually allowed to be taken over the pond. So that basically leaves you with a bit of a problem when it comes to bait. I've done a lot of research online in terms of what we could take, what we couldn't take. Personally, I'm a massive fan of solid bag fishing, and again, that was hindered as well because you're not allowed to take any solid bag mix or anything like that. So yeah, basically what I'll do, I'll talk about that later on, and then talk about this. So for us particularly this week, what I would say is that each venue in France at the moment may be different, but I think a lot of venues are probably going to go down the route that Redmill have as well. So Redmill have recently acquired a bait company, and they've moved sort of all of the products and all of the equipment and everything actually into France. I won't say the name of the actual business because I don't know if you want me to, but basically Darren and Yvonne and Redmill have purchased a bait company which is now set up in France, which is where we've got all of our bait from. It's basically saved us a lot of fuss and a lot of hassle at the ports, being able to not carry bait over and everything. I literally rang up Darren 2 weeks before we arrived, asked for I think 20 kilo, and we've got 10 kilo each initially, and obviously he's got more if you need it. And obviously the reason why I've only ordered 10 kilo each between me and my dad is the bigger bucket, which I'll get onto shortly. So yeah, basically the bait that I've gone for is basically just a house boilie. This is like a GLM sort of fish meal type bait. Again, first time I've ever used it, and I have to say, you know, boilies are boilies, yes, but they're a really nice consistency. They smell really, really good, and because the fish have obviously now been used to them for the past couple of years as well, then obviously it just makes everything so much easier. The fish are used to it, and obviously that's what we've been using. So what I've been doing as well, just to sort of enhance them a little bit, I actually got a prototype off Darren for this particular bait for the glug. So I've actually been glugging them in there as well, which just enhances the flavours, which I'm a big fan of in my own fishing in the UK when it comes to different additives and things, especially on silty venues, because as the boilers are on the bottom, you can sort of absorb some of that scent from the silt. So I think if you can sort of add some nice sort of scent attractors, it definitely helps you in your fishing. Also, what I've been doing with this is I've been topping the boilers in a chopper. I've also been crushing them into absolute fine sort of boilie mix, and I've been using that as a solid bag mix. Obviously at the moment I am using a solid bag on the other rod, and the reason I've not gone through that rig is because I haven't actually caught on a solid bag yet. It did a lot of the sort of business for me last week at East Delph, but obviously so far they're sort of so preoccupied on the boilies that the solid bag isn't really producing. So if I don't catch tonight, I'm probably going to move over and go to a more boilie approach on that one. So yeah, like I said, just a mixture of boilies. There's loads you can do with boilies. Like I said, you can crush them up, you can use solid bag mix, you can chop them, make halves. I'm a massive fan of half boilies. I love the way they flutter down and just sit on top of weed, on silt, on everything. Huge fan. It releases more sort of scent attractors as well. So yeah, that's kind of my boilies. And like I said, I'm using 10 kilo for this week and I've already gone through 5. So hopefully I might have enough. So moving on to the bigger bucket. Basically, you know, this again, I brought this, but it was obviously brought empty from home. I use one of the tracker inserts. To be honest, I truly don't know how I ever fish without one of these. It's one of those sort of products in angling where I just think, what did I ever do with all this stuff without one? They're the perfect tray for the way I use them. You can use them for different things. I know, for example, my dad uses them just to store extra tackle items, but personally, like I said, I store them just as they are now. So obviously in the larger compartment, I have all my solid bag mix. In the sort of smaller but deeper compartment, I've got all of my chop boilies, and I'd literally just chop 2 or 3 at a handful at a time and then chuck those in sort of freebies as well. And then the long bit at the moment, I have brought my sort of corded goose, which I'll get onto as well, because you might be wondering how I've actually managed to get them over in France, which I will get onto shortly. In fact, no, why not? Let's get it now. So the current standing on France is, if it's a product that the fish are going to consume, so whether that is going to be boilies, whether it's going to be sweet corn, anything that they're actually going to digest, they are completely banned from being taken from the UK and into France. The loophole at the moment, if I'm allowed to say that, and that goes for sort of anywhere in metropolitan France, the loophole at the moment is if the fish don't consume it, so or pop-ups, wafters, and goose, anything along those lines, basically that's now classed as a lure or a lure, however you want to pronounce it, but being a common northerner, it's a lure. So basically, because it's classed as a lure or a fish attractor, you can actually bring that into France. But in terms of anything that a fish can consume and digest, you can't take that. So that's how I've managed to get the goose over. And then finally, just talking about the big bucket here, and the reason why I've only bought 10 kilo. So as you're well aware, the last sort of 12 to 18 months, obviously with the C word that we won't go into, the lakes have been quite derelict and not fished. So for me, my sort of initial approach was that the fish probably won't be too preoccupied on boilies, to be honest, and out boilies, because there hasn't been, you know, they haven't seen any anglers, and sort of 12 to 18 months of that, they were probably more preoccupied on naturals. Now, although I can't sort of get naturals here, what I decided to do was buy 20 kilo of maize. Basically maize, again, Darren provides maize as well. He's always done that, to be honest. It's not a new thing with the bait company. He's always done his own maize. So like I said, it's really nice, it's really fresh. I think he's literally cooked it up 2 days before we arrived. And there's sweet corn in there, there's hemp, there's some seeds, there's some really nice sort of like chickpeas. It's just, yeah, it's a bit of everything. I absolutely love it. And what I've been doing is putting a couple of scoops in that as we first arrived, just to sort of entice the fish in, and then I've been putting boilies on the top, because like you said, they won't be sort of off the boilies, but you know, my initial approach was to go down the maize route and the smaller food items. As it turns out, you know, I don't really know if it's working or not, but it seems to be, like I said, I've managed 3 fish now, 4 bites, and obviously landed 3 fish. So like you said, that's the bait situation. Obviously I would recommend that if you come into any venue in France, if the venue does it just for ease of use, try not to bring your own bait over, because like I said, they'll just be stopped and you're wasting your own money. So if you're lucky enough, like we are obviously on this session where Darren's got his own bait, get the house bait. Obviously you know, the fish are used to it as well. So yeah, it's definitely been working for us. And yeah, what we'll do tonight is we'll get that bait back out on the spots, we'll put some more food in, we'll have my tea, and then we'll probably see you later on. Done. That were a long one, wasn't it? Right guys, well, if it's possible, I think I've probably caught the smallest fish, or carp at least, in this lake. But if nothing else, it's testament that if you get the right rigs in the right spot, and you get a spot that's rocking, especially on these holiday venues, then the bites will keep coming thick and fast. Right guys, well there you go. She's probably the smallest carp in the lake at just 7 pounds and something ounces. So it's definitely one of this year's stockies. But if nothing else, it goes to show that the simplest tied rigs on the right spot in the right location, and you'll keep getting bites on these holiday venues. Oh, and she's angry, look at that fin. Yeah, like I said, technically you can't really choose the size of the fish. But like I said, if you keep the rig simple, you put them in the right spot, because like you said, this time yesterday I'd not really caught anything. So yeah, it just goes to show that on these holiday venues, if you put the right rigs in the right spots and you get it rocking, you feed it regularly, then you'll certainly get amongst them. So yeah, not the queen of the pond, but a fish nonetheless. Let's get her back, let's get that rod set again for the night, and hopefully we'll see you again. Nice little fish. Right, well, good morning guys. So last night was pretty uneventful, if I'm being truthful. This morning, however, was a little bit of a different story. So I was quite confident with putting the rods out last night that, you know, I'd probably have a take before dark. Obviously that didn't materialise. And then yeah, probably at about, don't know, 4:30 this morning. Oh, beautiful kingfisher there. About 4:30 this morning, the right rod, which is on that stiff link D rig, that was away. And yeah, I've managed a really nice mirror. I've not weighed it yet, but she's just sacked up in the sling. And yeah, quite like a pretty fish, quite a small fish, but like I said, I'll never complain about catching fish, I just enjoy catching. So yeah, probably another one of the stockies, I think, to be honest. So like nothing massive, but we'll show you that one shortly. But yeah, literally about 15-20 minutes ago, yeah, the middle rod just out of nowhere, just absolutely, yeah, went into meltdown. No notifications, no liners or anything, just full on one tornado, and I was away. And that was one again, the one that was probably 90 yards to the small willow, and that's the one that was on the muzzle rig as well. So like I said, it just goes to show that the right rig's in the right spots, and I've got 2 spots rocking now, so I've pretty much had a bite on all of them 2 spots sort of every night since I've been in frogs. So yeah, the other one I'm still sort of yet to catch on, if I'm being truthful. But yeah, obviously I need to sort of see where the fish are, in terms of, I don't want to put another sort of rod on that bank, because if they are patrolling up and down there, adding 3 lines is just, you know, it's just doing myself no favours. So yeah, with the third one I'm just kind of keeping it a bit free and a bit loose at the moment, in terms of, you know, where the fish are going to crash out throughout the day or throughout the evening, and obviously I'll just cast to them, and obviously where they tell me where they are. So yeah, that's the plan. So without waffling on, we will get these fish out and we'll show you them right now. Here we go guys, it's about 6:30 in the morning. It's a beautiful morning as well. Might even be about 7 o'clock, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a really nice morning, and I've got a really nice sort of bigger one in the net there. So yeah, we'll have a look at the little one, which is over there, and I'll show you the big girl here. Not big girl, but bigger. Real do. Right, well, there you go. That was the smaller fish of my morning brace. I seem to be catching the smaller ones at the moment from that little willow tree. But like I said, you can't pick the size of the fish, and the fact that the spot's rocking is more important because I'm sure the big ones will come along. Speaking of which, I did manage a bigger fish from the far willow about 90 yards away. So what we'll do is we'll get this little guy back, we'll take a look at the big girl. Oh, 35.
35 and a half, that.
35.7. 35.7. So you get that, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, well, there we go. That's the bigger fish of the brace I've had this morning. And yeah, what a fish. Take it on the old Muzzle Rig at about 90 yards out to the small willow. And I feel like I've got these two spots proper rocking now. So yeah, hopefully, I think there's about 72 hours left so we can get some more. I'll put this girl back because I have had her slung up for about an hour. Hence why she's got a lot of energy. So we'll get her back and go get some brecco.
Look who I found, everybody. Yep. Saying, guys, look at this one. Obviously I've yet to confirm it, but I reckon on first inspections that she's the one that jumped out of my arms with that photograph a few years back. But like I said, we'll have to confirm it, but what a fish. She's got some width as well. Let's go and take a closer look at her.
Ready? Oh wow! Let go.
I'm making sure that
41, wow! Oh, 41.14.
it's absolutely made my trip. Unbelievable. Hands down the best looking fish I've ever caught. And it's not a little one either. Are we going to try and get him out? Or her?
Good afternoon, guys. So basically we didn't get a real good look at that fish, unfortunately, and that's because basically if you've seen the video from 2019, it was a repeat capture. So I caught the fish sort of a couple of years back now. My dad's caught it again. Fair play to him as well, because he went round this morning on the far bank, not realised why he wasn't catching, but saw that there was quite a lot of fizzing somewhere else from where he was fishing. Obviously what he's done this morning, obviously went straight round there, put some bait on it, put a rod on it, and within sort of 2-3 hours it's gone. For me personally though, as you can tell, the sun is absolutely beating down. It's so hot. I seem to be in full sun all day. Well, go on then. So yeah, fortunately it's just, yeah, it certainly feels like I'm in France now in the middle of summer. It's so hot. Like, I'm not complaining, but it is super hot. I've got the ultralight all sort of unzipped at the front, the 2 vents open, and it's still not enough. So yeah, it is what it is. I've been sleeping like that for a few nights now, but yeah, it's so hot, it's unbelievable. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update as to where we are today. My dad's obviously had that incredible 43 pound mirror. water fish, and fair play to him as well. So yeah, what I'm probably going to do is see out the sort of rest of the day in the sun, and yeah, probably go for some tea about 3 o'clock and update you guys later on. So I will see you then.
I'm fed up with changes. Come pick me up cause I just wanna see the light. I wanna be weightless. Teach me to fly, I won't be coming down. Could somebody wake me up? I don't wanna be here and let the world pass me by. Yeah. I just see your face wherever I look.
What you can see.
A massive snag, but it's still on. Yeah, yeah.
Careful. The joys of fishing. Can't we get lucky? Get in! Good skills.
40, definitely. Absolute massive. Yeah, 4-0. Depot. Here it comes with his prize. Can I give you this?
Yeah. 1 second.
Look at that. 46 pounds on the button. My biggest fish of the week. And off memory, I also think it's the biggest fish I've ever caught out of Redmill. I caught her on the old faithful Muzzle Rig, which always does the business on this lake. I don't know why I don't fish with it in England, to be honest. Because when it catches fish like that, there's absolutely no doubt it catches fish. It was taken from the willow about 90 yards out. And to be fair, this one got a little bit hairy because it took me like no other fish did, and it went to the left of the willow and it took me sort of around the back of the island. So I hollered for the boat. So I jumped in the boat, my dad came and sat with the rods. Battle commenced. I thought I'd lost her at one point because she did snag me up in a snag at the back of the island. But she was still on. I managed to get on top of the snag. The line came free. And obviously in the boat, I managed to get her under the net. So I'll try and hoist her up again for you. But I'm not used to all these big fish, I must admit. 18-month gap, huh? What it does for you. Look at that. Yes. Stills? Yeah. Well, thank you, love. You've made me an extremely happy carp angler today. One last look before she goes. Mega. Right, I've put you under enough stress. Off you go, see your mates. Thank you, mate. You unit. And another one. Good morning, guys. Just want to say apologies really that there was no update last night. Obviously since catching that 46-pound mirror, it was probably later on in the day, it was probably about 3-4 o'clock, which was usually about the time that we're reeling in anyway to have a social for tea. Obviously we did have a social for tea. It was quite celebratory with my dad having that incredible 43-pound sort of scaly one, and obviously me having that 46-pound mirror. So yeah, we basically went to have tea. We had sort of, you know, just a bit of a celebratory brew and that, sort of wild animals that we are. And yeah, basically we sort of came back, we got the rods out for both of us. And yeah, I just sort of didn't really get the camera out, to be honest, so I do apologise. It's probably about 7:30 now. We're probably about half an hour away from reeling in and going to the cabin. As you may have seen, there's a rod to my left. It was about 2:05 in the morning, and my middle rod, which I hadn't had a take from all week, to be honest. So I had a little change, which I'll probably talk a little bit about today in terms of I'm not fishing the pads to my left anymore. There's a whole margin in front of me where I think the fish are patrolling up and down. So what I've done is I've fished one to the willow, one to the right willow, and there's probably 100 yards in between. So I thought if I put a third rod there, then there's probably not much chance of me sort of spooking the swim. So I put one into the margin in between the two rods, and obviously nothing's happened. However, the last night at 2 o'clock, the rod went into meltdown. I had a savage take. It was as locked as I'd left it anyway. And yeah, basically by the time I'd got out of bed, got my Crocs on, yeah, Crocs. By the time I got my Crocs on, it was just absolutely, it was just mental. I hooked, obviously I felt it, I had it on for a short while. I thought I was winning, I had the rod tip low, I was pulling, and it was just still kiting, and the fish was so powerful that I've convinced myself that it was a catfish, because I put quite a bit of bait there as well. I'm just presuming that you know, did come in and hoovered it and took the hook bait as well, and the reason I say it was a catfish as well is because you probably can't see from there, but it's a clean break, completely and utterly. It's not even gone at the knot, there's no fraying, look at that, it's just a complete and utter clean break. Oh, that's good. Last night was the last full night of fishing as well, because today we're going to go out for some lunch with Darren and Yvonne. What we're going to do is we're going to sort of probably reel in, we're probably going to have another shower today, and then go out for some lunch and then come back and sort of put the rods back out. But yeah, so as we speak, I don't actually know yet if my dad's caught one, because like I said, he's not come round yet, and we're going to sort of have a social in the cabin swim, which is now down sort of 50-60 yards to my right, because like I said, I'm in the frog swim. So what I'll do is I will bring my rods in now, finish this update, bring the rods in, wait for my dad to come, have some breakfast, have a shower, and then we'll probably see you later on this afternoon. So yeah, without further ado, let's get them in, let's get all the sort of the rigs ready for later on, and then hopefully we can maximise the time, get some bait in, and I'll start up again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the rods in. Oh, I think I've got a take on camera, guys. Guys, I think I'm in. I'm just waiting for the line to go, but I'm fishing locked up. I think I'm in. Oh, there's nothing there. Guys, there's nothing there. What was that all about? Oh, guys, I thought we had another live take then on camera as well. Imagine that, like a 40-pounder live on camera. Unfortunately, I don't really know what happened then, but I mean, hopefully that sort of my wireless mic picked up my receiver behind me, and like I said, it was going for it. And at which point, like I said, I struck into it and there was nothing there. So I'm going to bring this rod in, I'll get all the 3 rigs ready for later on. We're going to go for some breakfast, have a shower, probably go to the supermarket just to get some supplies, some sort of fresh milk. Hopefully I'll put some bait in as well, so hopefully the fish will have a free feed today, and hopefully we can get one tonight. So yeah, that's probably when I'll see you, because today's quite action packed and not really one that you guys want to see on film. So what I'm probably going to do is, yeah, do all of that, and then we'll probably catch up with you later on this evening. So yeah, see you then. Morning, Dad.
Morning.
Oh, that smells good. Did you have anything last night?
No, sadly not. Very quiet last night.
Weird one, weren't it?
It was a bit odd.
Good evening. So all 3 rods are out now on the dance floor. The mosquito coil is lit and the candle is on. So yeah, that basically means we're just going to sit back now, even though it's pitch black. So yeah, basically this afternoon we went out for some lovely sort of lunch with Darren and Yvonne. Went to a local village, went to a really nice restaurant to be fair. Yeah, it was really nice. The guy was Belgian, never understood a word of English, but you know, I had a great time. You could kind of tell the banter and everything through the language barrier, but yeah, it was a really sort of nice atmosphere and a really nice sort of lunch out. So yeah, I don't know if you probably ever want to watch this, but thank you very much for that. I've got my left rod to the far side, like I said, to that little willow again. That last night was the first night I didn't actually take a fish, to be fair. So yeah, basically I'm still persevering with it because, like I said, I think it's, you know, it's going to do me a bite. It's kind of my banker rod, if you like. My middle one's also gone to the same on the far margin. I've had a little bit of a mix up on that rod, to be fair. I'm not fishing these lily pads to my left anymore. Basically I just saw a few boshing, and like I said, it's quite a long margin, probably 150 yards. So yeah, basically I didn't want to sort of put 2 rods on a spot, if you like, and spook them with the sheer amount of line. So I basically spread them around that margin, so there's a nice sort of snaggy area, which is obviously pretty much where I caught the catfish from, or what I think is a catfish anyway. And yeah, basically my right rod's gone to the small willow again in front of the all alone swim. And yeah, there's not really much else I can say, so hopefully we can have another fish to show you tonight. My dad's already lost one, to be fair. So yeah, we probably managed to get the rods out for about half an hour, and obviously in a long truck swim fishing to the far margin, and he lost one. So it took him into the snags, I think, before he even got a chance to, yeah, because it's about, again, that's probably about 95 to 100 yards, and I just think it had picked up the slack. And we're fishing quite tight, but even at that distance, I think it's just picked up the slack, and obviously it's managed to shake the hook. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but the fish are there. So like I said, they might have started to migrate back up that end of the lake, to be honest, because they were showing all down frogs. It was quite quiet for me last night. I've had a few stockies, so whether or not the fish have sort of moved back up that end, and as I've mentioned earlier in the video, because we're staying till Sunday now as well, what we probably might do is, or I might do, is have a night under the stars, pack everything down on the sort of Saturday, because we've got to be up early for the ferry on Sunday anyway. So what I might do is pack everything up, leave 2 rods out, and maybe go back into sluice and maybe fish sluice's water or something like that. But we'll see, time will tell. Obviously at this point as well, what I would love to say is, if you've really enjoyed part 1 of this road trip, and you're obviously enjoying part 2 of the road trip, and more importantly you enjoy the content that we actually provide, obviously if you really wouldn't mind hitting that like button, more importantly to us, if you wouldn't mind pressing subscribe as well. It's a massive help and it doesn't cost you a penny to do it. I'm not a stat geek, I'm really not, but here's one for you anyway. 90% of you still aren't subscribed, so all 90% of our watchers still haven't subscribed to the channel. So yeah, honestly guys, it's completely free to you, and it's like I said, it really helps grow this channel, and it really sort of makes it worthwhile for us as well. And to be honest, we don't do it for that, we do it for our own memories, to be truthful. I have no ambitions at all of becoming famous. I just, you know, it really helps the channel, and it's really nice to interact with you guys as well. So yeah, to all our current subscribers, I just want to say a huge thank you, because it means absolutely everything. And to be able to put the effort in that we do for these videos, and it to be rewarded to have that interaction with you, and yeah, it's really nice. So yeah, just want to sort of shut up on that one now, but yeah, just want to say thank you. So I'm really confident, especially on that left rod, because that's been my banker, to be fair. That's had my 240s. Like I said, all the smaller fish that I've had, the 2 stockies, Arthur, and the other 20 pound that I've had, all came to the swim in front of all alone, and my 240s came from the left rod, all my left rod as it is now. So like I said, I'm super confident. So yeah, basically I'm not going to sort of waffle on too much. It's Big Fish Thursday, so fingers crossed we'll get a fish through the night, and if not, we'll see you in the morning regardless. Do you want to weigh it first?
Yeah, that's probably
Oh, you fucking big bloody thing!
just attracted to light.
What we're saying, what's that?
I'm looking at it from an odd angle. It's like 45.
Move your head back. Stop there.
Like 45, 13, something like that. Well, here we are in the middle of the night. Don't even know what time it is, and for those of you who've been watching from the beginning, you probably thought I'd gone home anyway. But no, I'm still here, and I was just enjoying my scented candle in my bivvy when this little rascal ripped off on my solid bag. I've been persevered with a solid bag all week, never had a sniff, and I moved it 10 yards to the left, and this is the result. What an immense fish, not to mention heavy. He's damned heavy, but what a fight he gave me. Proper run around, but I loved every second of it. So thank you very much for keeping me from my bed. I'm very grateful. Oh, let's put him down. Oh. Right, you ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Right. There you go. Just there. Oh God.
Good skills.
I'll just have a shower while I'm here.
There's frig all out here. It's literally like 3 foot, well not even that, 2 foot. That's why they don't cut that island, don't catch. What to do, what to do? Do I pack up my stuff and move? Thing is, I might as well only fish one rod in here. Right guys, well good afternoon. So basically I've just been playing out in the boat. I've just been sort of looking for some other spots because the left rod that I've had just hasn't caught me any fish, and I've not even had a run on it to be fair. So yeah, I've just been out there sort of looking for other spots, sort of feeling it down, seeing how deep it is, and there's just absolutely nothing. And like you said, the fish now seem to be, yeah, just seem to have moved off. And like I said, I've got that one rod, which, you know, it has been a banker, but now for 48 hours, it's just not gone. Obviously, whilst I've been out in the boat, basically, there's been 2 fish right in front of the pink bush, the big alder there. 2, one after another, badoosh. Like, it's just, again, the beginning of the week, the fish told me where they were, I've moved on to them, I've had a few. So yeah, basically, the fish have told me where they are again. Do I sit here, do I not? Basically, I've decided to up stick. So what I'm going to do now, get everything packed up, get back on the barrow, get over to Pink Bush. We'll see you there. Right guys, well here I am. I'm in the Pink Bush swim with the infamous Norwegian spruce, also known as the Christmas tree. So we know this swim quite well, to be fair. I've been on it before, and to be honest guys, honestly, we've been stood here for about an hour and the fish are just, they're not boshing, but they're cruising all the way along there. And we've even seen Arthur. He's had his back out, he's had his tail out. There's a few fish, there's a sort of couple of other fish as well. But yeah, Arthur's here as well, so could you imagine if we've moved from frogs into Pink Bush and managed to catch Arthur again, guys? Mental. But yeah, there's a few fish, the tails and everything, just cruising all up along there, so I'm probably going to spread 3 rods along there tonight. Probably one about there. One probably about there, because we've seen one as well. And then probably one towards the corner there. So yeah, hopefully guys, we're going to go and get some tea, probably put some bait in and get the rods out for tonight. So we'll catch you later on. Right guys, well here we are. I made the move this afternoon to Pink Bush. I've literally had the rods out about an hour. I've not even had a chance to sit down and give you an update. And I've only gone and caught myself a carp.
This side, on the side, Jack.
Yeah, nice one. I think she's a nice 30-pounder. Let's go right, let's have a look.
nice. Zoom right in there. That's the one.
35.2. Right, well, there you go. My third swim of the week. Like I said, I made a decision this morning to leave frogs. It just doesn't seem like it was right for a bite. I'd done another 2 days and 2 nights and there just wasn't anything showing. I'd spent a little bit of time out in the boat. Saw 2 fish bosh in front of the older tree, in front of the pink bush swim. So again, if I've learned anything from this session, it is truly the importance of location. They told me where they were. I've come straight to pink bush, had some tea, put the rods out, and I've not even had a chance to give you an update on where I'm fishing or anything yet, and it's gone already. Just goes to show, guys, that, you know, if the fish tell you where they are, stick a rod on them and you will catch them. Mega. Let's get in the water, let's get some stills. Gone absolute one toner then, right? And I thought, oh, it's a sling. The sling was nowhere near it, and I was like, am I? And I thought, well, I've got a reel in anyway, so.
I love this swim, me.
Yeah, come on, mug. Gotta be on it.
Come on, mug.
Gotta be on it. Not the mug anyway, it's the camp common.
Well, that way to spend your morning.
Yeah. Why did that look a bit offerish, that?
No. Well, we're just about to go for breakfast. Good skills.
Oh, caught this fish before.
Have you?
Yeah. You can tell by that big apple slice on her tail. Yeah. I think that is the first fish I've ever caught from Redmill.
Really?
Yeah. I've definitely had this fish before, 100% I have. This is the first, it was, I'm telling you, it was the first fish I ever caught out of Redmill Lakes. What looks you growing on? Oh, we're having 20, no, you're joking, 28. 28.14. We're having that.
I'm having that.
Right, well, good morning. What about that for a fish? I'm not 100% confident yet, but I'm 99% confident that this is a fish. Well, the first fish that I ever caught from Redmill. The big apple slice scale. I recognise it, and it was about 23 pounds, I think, when I first caught her. And now she's just gone 28.14. Not that size matters, but I'm pretty confident that this is that fish. 99% there, so I'll put the fish up that I caught way back then when I was much slimmer and much younger than I am now. So like I said, you might be able to sort of compare them side by side, and obviously in editing I'll be able to tell as well. But I've had a brace of fish this morning. I've been fishing for, I don't know, 15, 16 hours and I've had 3 fish already from pink bush. So it just goes to show that location is so important, and I think the sort of key to success really is that if you keep moving about, we haven't really chased the fish, but because there's only myself and my dad on this session, just sort of being mobile and being able to sort of follow them as the pressure builds with the fish and they move off you, sort of being able to hunt them down, I guess, and it's really worked. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll get some water shots of this one, and we'll get you the one that I caught at about 6 o'clock this morning. It was a little bit bigger than this. So yeah, we'll get this one back and we'll show you the big girl. Yeah, 38.8. Yeah, I'll have that. 38.8. Christ almighty. Just do a quick video and then we'll try the water. There we go. 39 pounds and 14 ounces. The bigger fish of my sort of 3 fish haul in pink bush, to be fair. Like I said, it just goes to show you put the right rigs in the right spots and you'll continually catch them. If I'm being truthful, I did have a little tweak with my rigs. I went to a slip D combi and took off the muzzle rig just because I thought it was quite silty and shoddy over there, and this is the result that fell to that one on a really sort of outdated rig, I guess, in terms of the presentation, and that was on a Snowman. So I'm not going to give all my secrets away, but I'll show you that later on. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll get some stills of this one, hopefully, and then we'll go for some Brecco. You get a bit of a liner before it happens.
Well, it's a carp as well.
Squash! Get out of there. Whoop. PB on a centre pin. You're gonna need a bigger net. Right, get out of there. You need a bigger boat.
Don't let him go in there.
You're going to a new home, my friend. Blowing the dazzler. Got a nice red spot there.
Oh, he's going again,
There you
second
go.
wind. Turning.
It's 3 years old, that fish.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're in.
We're having that. Right guys, well, this little guy, we managed to catch him on my first ever fish on a centre pin out of the Redmill stock pond, and he's a little bit angry, hence why I'm holding him a bit silly. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop him into Redmill, and hopefully one of you guys in the future can catch him when he's about £30. There you go, look at that. Mega little fish. So let's get him back, or not get him back, let's get him into his new home. And hopefully we'll see him one day in the future. There you go mate, into the big bad world. There you go. Future of Redmill. So the rods have gone back out now on the spots for the last time this week on Redmill. It's been a fantastic week, to be fair. I say it every year, but it's everything that this sort of, you know, this lake offers for me personally. Like I said, even tonight what we've done is we've sort of reeled in, we've rested the swims through the day, we've had an incredible barbecue as we sort of have every year with Darren and Yvonne, and then we even had a little sort of play in the stock pond as well to bring a few sort of fish over. That didn't really go to plan, the fish weren't playing ball. But yeah, we managed to catch 2 sort of fish. One was about, I think, £8 and one was like literally 3-4 ounces. So that one went back into the stock pond, and we released a sort of the bigger one into the main lake as well. So yeah, it was really nice ending. Like I said, I'm still really confident, if I'm being truthful, for the spots. But like I said, obviously what I would say at this point is if you've enjoyed part 1, oh, that's rubbish. So yeah, I'm feeling fairly confident. Like I said, I've got my sort of left rod is to the alder that's right in front of this swim. My sort of middle rod, if you like, is to the silver birch trunk, which is right in front of the swim again, just to the right of the alder, and then my right rod is to the corner of the sort of the bigger island in front of me. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that we might still have a fish. Obviously if we don't, this will be the last piece for part 2, and obviously this is the sort of final piece as well. So what I would say, if you sort of really enjoyed part 1 and if you really enjoyed this as well as part 2, then if you really wouldn't mind hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, which is a massive help. It doesn't cost you a penny and it'd really help us grow the channel. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind pressing that subscribe button, it'd be really appreciated. And then more importantly, if you press that bell icon as well, you'll be notified every single time we upload a video. So yeah, basically just to wrap this up, slightly philosophical, but just want to say as well that, you know, do what you want to do guys in your own fishing. You know, venues, there's so many different types of venues and different styles of angling. You do what suits you. And personally for me, this type of sort of, you know, exclusive booking for me and my dad as well, the memories that I'll never ever forget. And I've had a great time and memories, you know, with me and my dad that I'll never forget. So yeah, just like I said, just to end it on that really is, you know, whatever happens, you do your angling guys, as long as you're enjoying it. That is the most important thing in fishing. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed it. And like I said, if I don't see you again, I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. If I do see you again, it will certainly be with the carp. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can see you again with a fish. And like I said, if not, we'll see you on the next one. So thanks again for sort of watching part 1, and more importantly, if you followed all the way through to part 2, a massive thank you from me, and we'll see you next time. $36.8. Yeah?
Yeah.
Filming that, yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet. Right, well there we go. So after just saying that piece literally probably about an hour ago, we've lost the last of the light, and even though like you said that was the end of the video, I half knew I was confident and pretty pretty certain I was going to get another fish because they were crashing again in front of me. It wasn't the rod I expected, but I did expect to have one. So yeah, like I said, we are losing the light now. I'm going to get this rod packed away. I'm not going to put it back out now because it is pitch black out there and we are going in 10 hours or so. So yeah, what we'll probably do, I'll take a few still pictures, I'll get this one back, and I'll probably wrap up the video unless there's another one to show you. But if there isn't, just a final thank you again for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed part 1 and part 2 of the road trip. What a way to sign it off. Let's get her back. There you go, mate. $33.6.
Right.
Right, well, there we have it. Now I promise you this definitely is a final fish now, because that was my only rod that was left in the water. And she just tipped the scales at £33, but it really doesn't matter. It's an incredible end to another incredible week at the incredible Redmill Carp France. So yeah, I won't keep her out too much longer because I've got a nice warm bed waiting for me. So like I said, I just want to say a massive thanks for watching, and if you wouldn't mind sort of pressing the like button, subscribing to the channel and join us on our future adventures. So until then, thanks again for watching and we'll see you next time. Mega.
Morning. This is the last gasp capture of the trip. It is literally, it's about 10 to 7 now and we're leaving at 7:30. I was just starting to bring the rods in and this one went. This is my second fish to a solid bag over to the far margin. I've pretty much given up hope on catching another one from there, to be honest. And then this happened. So because the time is so tight and we've a lot to do, I'm going to get her back very, very quickly. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the incredible East Delph Lakes. How about that for a first evening carp?
Hands down, the best looking fish I've ever caught.
We're a little over 24 hours into our session, and to be honest, it's been a really good start.
For the last hour, I've been getting liners, and then it's just absolutely ripped off.
It's either a scrapping like a tiddler, or it's...
That's what my £8 comment was like.
Thanks.
No. So, this is it. Not my last night, but unfortunately sad to see them go. It's Jack and Mick's last night.
Right, guys. I've had an absolutely incredible sort of 4 nights on East Delph Front Lake. Good morning, guys. So that wraps up a really enjoyable 96 hours on East Delph Front Lake. Beyond Bagnour en France. So we're in very familiar territory for part 2 of this road trip.
Well, how's about that for a beautiful common carp? Stunning, stunning mirror.
Look at that for a fish. 41 pounds, whatever, 7-8 ounces, but no way. It's Arthur. It's fucking Arthur. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Get in that net. Go on, son. Yes, I've got him. Look at that. Right, well, there we go. That's the bigger fish of the brace I've had this morning.
It's absolutely made my trip unbelievable. Hands down the best looking fish I've ever caught.
Here it comes with his prize. Look at that. 46 pounds on the button.
Here we are in the middle of the night. Don't even know what time it is. And for those of you who've been watching from the beginning, you probably thought I'd gone home anyway.
On already. Just goes to show, guys, that, you know, if the fish tell you where they are, stick a rod on them and you will catch them. What about that for a fish? There we go. 39 pounds and 14 ounces. So the rods have gone back out now on the spots for the last time this week on Redmill. I'll get this one back and I'll probably wrap up the video unless there's another one to show you. But if there isn't, just a final thank you again for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed part 1 and part 2 of the road trip. What a way to sign it off. Let's get her back.
This is the last gasp capture of the trip. It is literally, it's about 10 to 7 now and we're leaving at 7:30. I'm going to get her back very, very quickly. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.
If you've been a follower of our channel now for a good couple of years, or you thought of just, if you've been a follower for one, so finally we did make it, and I just want to say a massive thank you for everyone who sort of tuned in for part 1 of this road trip. So hopefully we can kick this part 2 off with a couple of fish. So it's that, no.
That were a bit shit, that, wasn't it?
You join me now on Monday evening, and I'm, yeah, sat in the very, nope. So basically what I've done this evening is I've got, hey, why's my bum wet? Cold, that granite. So basically what I've done tonight is I've approximately left, my left rod is literally, no. Don't do it, mate, don't. Just give me one photograph. Come on. Don't. Come on, mate, please. Oh. Come on, just do us a favour, come on. Oh, you numpty! It's gone down my back. I knew it would. Oh, drenched. I forgot how heavy a 40 pounder was. So let's talk about last night. No, flipping effing storytelling. So let's talk about last night. What the fuck is that? 20 minutes after that, right hand rod as it were, I was on the phone to my, and then I was on the phone to my good mate Jamie from the syndicate, and yeah, I literally said to him as well, I was on the phone and I said pretty much word for word, it'd be pretty good if I had a take, because you obviously get it live on sort of, not on camera, but no. And I pretty much said as well, no. So if we do get a fish in the meantime, obviously I'll put that in now. If not, we'll cut to a little bit of B-roll of the lake, show you the lake, you know, no. So what I will do is I will, like I said, if we catch a fish, I will obviously, no. So what I will do, I will cut to the rigs, no. So what we'll do is, oh my God. Obviously just the middle bit there, because it's a stiff sort of, yeah. All right. What have you got there? Pizzas. The right rod that's to the no. Good afternoon, guys. Oh. Good afternoon, guys. What was I saying? Good morning, guys. Well, good morning, guys. Just want to sort of point out, basically what we decided to. I'm doing a piece of camera. I'm going to pretend, because the audio's on, I'm going to pretend that you're cooking bacon, and I'm going to ask you if you've caught out. Yeah? Whatever you want. Yeah? Just last night. I'm going to pretend that you're cooking bacon because I've got some good shots of you cooking that bacon, so I'm going to put it in. Yeah? It's all fake. Well, good evening. All 3 rods are out. Coil. Don't like that. Yeah, I've definitely got. That's pretty much where the rods are, to be honest. So yeah, the mosquito coil is lit. The sorry. Right guys, well, I'm up unloaded. I'm off to Pink Bush. How's that for transport? But like you said, we've stalked through the day.
Jack, I think you might be in again.
Right, let's get this fish back.
Quick as you can.
Yeah. And yeah, we might have another chance of a fish, yeah?
Oh, mate. Oh.
Nice. 39, I think. Ooh.
And a free shower thrown in.
Not that high, you've only shouted me for a face being on camera. Right, well, so the rods are in now for the final time on the incredible Redmill Carp France. Right, well, the rods have been put out now for the last time for this year on, well, the rods have gone out now for the last time on, just thought I'd show you my fly graveyard look. So I've had this bad boy burning for a few nights now while I've been sort of open fronted. And yeah, I'm just collecting my flies.
I know where she goes.
Yeah, I knew she went then.